Hello. So this video is probably going to be a multitude of different clips, just because of the sensitivity of the topic and trying not to do it around any of the kids. So let's talk about the topic of being a mom and being suicidal and homicidal. And if you have anything negative to say or any negative comments or anything, I don't need it. Don't fucking say shit, because I'll just fucking block you. Your opinion doesn't matter to me. Anyways, this topic really needs to be talked about because a lot of moms like myself, red light buddy, suffer in silence and either don't talk to anybody, don't know how to talk to anybody, or just don't know what to do. So myself, I have battled with depression since 1997 when my father passed away, but it has gotten progressively worse. I got upgraded to a different diagnosis of having bipolar disorder, but that was mostly on my own research because I wasn't getting very far with my doctor. However, I'm not so sure that that is my true diagnosis. My depression is situational, so when there is an anniversary of something traumatic in my life, or something happens, my depression gets worse. And also my body responds to medication for so long, and then it seems to stop working and I'm back to where I was before. So medication, I don't think, is necessarily the key, the answer. I truly believe that it has its time and place, but I also think that it does more harm than good in many situations, and that's where I'm feeling again right now. So that'll be my first take. Ow, my neck. All right, good evening. Far too often doctors only go to is prescription medication, and don't really treat the underlying problem. Depression is just anger, and anger turned inwards, and unresolved issues that an individual has dealt with in the past. Don't get me wrong, there is chemical imbalances, but I believe that far too much doctors just go to prescribing medication for the individual to just mask and deal with the immediate issues. So, our brains can only take so much of one drug, and then, it builds up tolerance, and then you got to increase, and then builds up tolerance, and you got to increase again. And that's not helpful. That's just changing our brain's chemistry. And, people don't eat properly and take in a lot of sugar and processed foods, and that just compounds the issue, especially with the antibiotics that are in foods. Anyways, I want to get right to it. As a mom, we feel this, obviously we feel like we have to do everything, and it's expected of us many times as a mom to cook and clean and be able to do everything, and we appear so strong, but inside we are dying, really, literally and figuratively. And it's sad because there's shame for you to speak out and say something you're labeled as crazy, and we need to get rid of the stigma. It'll allow more people and more moms to come forward and actually speak out. We shouldn't have to suffer in silence. We should feel comfortable saying something to our loved ones, our children, our partners, our doctors, our friends, our co-workers, without having, fear of backlash. Okay, so she's gonna go crazy at work, or we have to worry about her. Yeah, if you're suicidal, you have to be worried about. That's true, but it's taking that step to be able to say something to someone, and we fear being imperfect because everybody puts us up on such a large pedestal, because they've seen how much we can do and how much we go through, and we don't show necessarily our feelings or our weaknesses. And it's hard. It's really hard to be silent and suffer.
So the whole point of this video is I'm going to put myself out there and be vulnerable so other moms can feel safe speaking out. So I am suffering. I'm doing better this week, actually. I've been suffering over the last quite a few years with suicidal thoughts. Now, what does that mean? For everybody, it's different. For me, I start to get overwhelmed, and I start to feel like everything's too much, that I can't possibly complete all the tasks that I need to do, and then find time for me and, try to do my businesses. And then I start to think, okay, I'm not good enough. I've never been good enough. I'm a shitty mom. I'm just failing. I am damaging my kids, and it's better that I'm not around. It's better that they're not with me. I start to think about ways of hurting myself to take me out of this world, because it just would be so much easier not to have to deal with hurting others and hurting inside. So there's been times where I've sat in my bathroom and contemplating, slicing my wrists, or other times there's been, just, I'm trying to keep it real.
Need to insert this clip, something I forgot to talk about yesterday. You feel stuck when you feel suicidal because you just want to die and you want to be out of it. But then you start thinking, well, I don't want to damage my kids by, them finding my body, or having to deal with the trauma of their mom committing suicide. So then you're like, okay, so what do? I don't know what to do. I feel like this. I don't want to feel like this, but I just can't seem to stop it. And that is so hard to deal with. So we need to find better ways to handle mental health. The way that it's dealt with right now is really not working. And like I said, I want to start a nonprofit for this kind of thing. So anyways, just wanted to say that because I forgot to. So
There's times that the thoughts that go through your head scare you when you are out of it. But it's totally normal. A lot of women feel the way that I do. You can feel that way after you've had a new baby. Everybody says you're supposed to be happy and in love and blah blah blah, but it's just so much pressure. Then you start to want to hurt the baby because the baby won't stop crying. And there has been times in the past where I have, you know, put the baby down hard because I just couldn't handle it. That is many years ago. But you know, don't you're not alone. You know, like, you're not the only one that has felt like that. A lot of moms feel that way, and the more we start talking about it, the more it's gonna be easier to talk about. So it's not that I am not successful. It's not that I can't do things. Whatever in the brain happens, it's just something that you can't just switch off. It doesn't work like that. Depression is real. It's not all in your mind. You're not crazy. You're not a bad mom. We just put too much pressure on ourselves because of the way we were brought up, the shit that we see on TV of how moms are with their kids. You know, like, for the longest time I beat myself up for not being that, perfect mom who, bakes with her kids and does all the crafty shit. That's just not me. And I've come to realize that it's okay to be who I am. I mean, I do lots of other different types of stuff for my kids and with my kids, but I don't have to be Leave It to Beaver's mom. I'm gonna be a very successful entrepreneur, a female role model. There's lots of different things that I'm getting my hands into, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think my obstacle right now is just, the medication. I think the medication's just made it worse over the years. So I am getting healthy. It starts with diet and exercise and vitamins and supplements and stuff. But when you're in depression, you don't want to do that shit. You don't care what goes in your body. You don't care if you fucking even get out of your bed. And that's okay. But not to stay in that. So the more we choose to isolate, the more we self-talk, the more we get depressed. And you just go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So if you don't have anybody to talk to, reach out to me. I will link my email in the box below, and you can send me a message. If I can't help you, I will find you resources in your area, so you can be linked up with those guys. But I also wanted to talk about what happens when you get help. So because of the stigma of mental health and postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, and all those things, you see it on TV all the time where a mother killed her kids, and you don't understand how a mom can do that. It's not that she didn't love her kids, it's just the voices just don't stop telling you you suck. And we're a cheerleader for everybody else, but there's nobody to cheer us on. So when you go into the hospital, these are my experiences, okay? I don't know what every hospital is like, but when you go into the hospital, you're treated like a fucking criminal. You're put in the same hallway as arrested people in handcuffs with the cops sitting there. You sit there for hours. There's no privacy. A counselor will come talk to you and deem your state of mind. And then a psychologist or a psychiatrist will come and talk to you. if there's no psychiatrist available and the crisis counselor deems you to be a danger to yourself or to others, then you're put in a locked up ward. You're stripped of everything. You're stripped of your identity, basically. All your clothes, all your belongings, no cell phone, no nothing. So everything that helps you maybe cope is taken away from you. And then once you're stabilized in there, they move you to a different ward and you're in there for however long it takes to get you stable. But the way they handle depression and mental health issues in the hospitals, it's not working. And the changes that the government's tried to make happen, it's just not happening fast enough. You know, we moms are falling through the cracks. So we're scared to say anything because we're scared our kids are going to get taken away. We're scared to say anything because, that makes us less of a mom, less of a woman, less of a person. And it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. I don't know why I start to feel like that. I still haven't figured that out. So I just want you to know that if you're having thoughts of hurting yourself, or you have thoughts of hurting your kids, or you have hurt your kids because you just don't feel like you can't control it, what you're feeling, other women feel. But what you need to do is take a step out in faith and ask somebody or tell somebody how you're feeling. Ask somebody for help. Even if it's a 5-minute shower, or if it needs to be more, like if you're a single parent like me, you need more of a break. And every city's different. There's different resources to access. Sorry, I had a brain fart. We're new to this city. We just moved here last August. And the last city I came from, I lived there for 18 years. So I knew the supports that were available. But this city, I'm not sure yet. So I'm hoping over the next, couple weeks to couple months, I can figure out what best suits me and suits our family. The moment you say something at the hospital, CAS is called, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Don't be scared of CAS, Children's Aid Society, or CPS if you're in the States. They say they're there to help keep families together. In my experience, I haven't had that much help because I'm a very resourceful person. And they haven't really helped other than getting me like daycare when I wasn't working, and getting the kids into some programs. But they're not really equipped for this type of thing. So I am looking at nonprofits and stuff like that. So keep your eyes posted for more information. And if you're interested in getting involved in that kind of thing, that kind of support, you want to back that, because it's important that we normalize mental health issues, because they're running rampant, and it all starts with moms, because moms raise the kids. Moms are the cornerstone of the family. So sorry I ranted a lot. It's all important to get it out, and I want people to know that I have had those feelings, and I'm not the only one that has those feelings, and you need to say something. Don't suffer in silence. Okay? So have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.